Hustler Podcast. I'm Jelson.
Hi, my name is Atoro.
My brother in-law, Bishop from Ridgeon Park.
Welcome to another episode.
Welcome to the Mendable Hustler Podcast. I'm your host G, and the one and only my co-host October. So we here, very happy. We reached a milestone. We reached a goal that we set in the beginning, and we have a very special announcement to make. And I'm gonna let the one and only my co-host October take over.
Yeah, so this sort of goes back to the very first episode that we had. We stated our objectives, and we knew that it was going to be difficult, but we're not anywhere near where we want to be, obviously, because we did make some promises we haven't reached yet. But this sort of goes back to episode 2, when we talked about setting realistic goals and actually accomplishing these goals.
Yeah.
So because our goal is a long-term one that will take time, it's important to set little goals. And our first goal that we set for the podcast itself was reaching episode 15 and making consistent improvements from episode to episode. And we're very happy that we're able to do that, and we're very happy that we reached this milestone, and we are very happy to continue moving on forward.
Yeah, so now that we reached this milestone, now we wanted to really get engaged with our listeners. We have a pretty good amount of listeners, consistent listeners to every episode so far, and we have the confidence now going forward that we can try new things, new topics. We really wanted to get a lot of anything that we could improve on, your thoughts of, or any guests recommendations that our listeners have for us. We wanted to try new things and going forward, but of course stick to the same message. Yeah, man, so this is great. You guys are gonna see some new changes going forward, and
Yeah.
And
so
you can mention now about the other goal that we kind of set in the beginning, that we didn't register the podcast right away. You can kind of just mention that.
Yeah, sure. Before I go into that, I just wanted to just touch on some of the points that you mentioned in regards to the kind of topics that we're going to be focusing on as we go further. So as you've seen through the past 14 episodes, we focused a lot on health and fitness, and that's clearly one of our main objectives, but it's not the overall goal.
Right.
We want to touch on many different topics, not just health and fitness, but many other topics that we constantly have, just to have like a normal type of conversation, not just be set on one particular thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something I wanted to touch on. In regards to the podcast, so we recently released or created our podcast, an audio podcast, in different platforms. So the platforms that we have our podcast now, and it's ready to be listened to, ready for use. It's on Spotify, it's on Apple Podcasts, and it's on Google Podcasts. Other podcasts will be added later on, but those are the current podcasts we have so far. And with those changes, there's also going to be some changes in the schedule. So in terms of the schedule in which we upload the videos, The videos will now take a bit longer to upload because we still want to maintain the quality and the consistency. So what will replace the videos that we currently upload will be an audio version of the podcast itself. So before we release the video, an audio version of the podcast will come out, and then at a later time, the video portion will be released.
Yeah, so like, and this goes back to, because I got like someone like, I remember someone was asking me like, you guys haven't registered the podcast, like for those people who don't have time to watch YouTube, because when you go to YouTube, if you like, especially when you watch YouTube on your phone, if you take YouTube, it stops, right? So in the beginning, that was our goal. So we didn't want to just go all over the place just yet, because we wanted to get comfortable. This is something new for us, you know. So we wanted to just set a small goal and just accomplish that goal and then go forward from them. And like now is the right time. So for those people who couldn't watch the podcast on YouTube, now you have other
options. Other options on
other
different
options
platforms
where you can listen to
on the
while
platforms
you're
that you're most
driving.
comfortable in.
Yeah, while you're driving, and you know, like some of those platforms that you don't need Wi-Fi, you can listen to when you know, in the gym or whatever, you know. So it's just great. So now it gave us more. It's just more self-awareness of that our podcast is gonna go more to more listeners and new listeners. So that's why we wanted to get like more thoughts, the thoughts that we could be very useful going forward. Yeah.
So with that being covered, I 14 episodes in, and this is the 15. I just wanted to highlight some of my struggles that I noticed.
Yeah.
And what are the improvements I plan to make going forward in order to continue my improvement, continue my growth. So through 14 episodes so far, I've noticed that this is not something I'm comfortable in, but
something out of your comfort zone.
Something out of my comfort zone. And usually what I tend to do is it tends to affect a lot of different aspects in the which I communicate and the which I do many different things. And so what it normally does to me is I tend to overthink, and that tends to affect many different aspects. And so my goal going forward is to continue doing many different podcasts in a repetitive sense in order to comfort that challenge, in order to work on that challenge, and later on I'm sure everything will improve, and that's my goal.
Yeah. And for me, and it goes back like in the beginning when I was kind of like, to every topic that we had in the beginning, I was kind of like over explaining when I could just give a plain and simple explanation, or like my voice is kind of like low or up, you know, so kind of like focus on speaking louder and just deliver a quick and plain simple explanation, or just a quick simple through my experiences, right? Of course, you know, nothing out of something that is not of my experience, and focus more on the guests instead of focus on myself more, because some of the times I tend to like kind of like I want to share this, but it's not about me, it's about the guests that we have. Yeah, man, like this is great because I get to learn something new every day, and for me as a public speaker, and you know, it helps me with my speaking, it helps me with timing wise and listening, or just be comfortable on the camera, because I'm comfortable in the camera now. Just I use this more for my speaking kind of thing. So yeah, man, like I love doing this. This is my comfort zone, but like there's so much more room for improvement, and this is perfect for me. Yeah, so like going forward, I tend to focus on those things that lack of, and yeah, man, just make it better. But like, if you guys see some of the things that I struggle with that I don't see in myself, I definitely want to hear. You know, I could take anything negative. You know, because those are the things that will help us grow. Yeah, man. Like, I'm excited to move on and to go and crush this new goal that we're setting. Yeah, man. So I can't wait for you guys to hear the new episode that's coming up, the new changes that we're making. And yeah, man, like, what else do we have?
That was it.
Yeah, man. So stay tuned. You know, new episode, you're gonna see the changes that we made. You're gonna see the improvements, and I think you can just gonna give a quick in terms of the audio and the video won't be kind of like out at the same time.
I already mentioned that.
You mentioned that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, man, so stay tuned. You know, we'll see you in the next episode. And please, we want like more comments, you know, give you real thoughts. Don't be afraid to be negative. We want those negative comments. That only is gonna help us grow. And constructive criticisms. Yeah, so yeah, man, stay tuned on the next one. And peace. Welcome to the Mendable Hustler Podcast. I'm Jelson.
Hi, my name's Atoro.
Brother-in-law, Bishop from Ridgeland Park. Bishop. My best personal trainer is not David.
I don't know if I'm the best.
Bobby Rodman Stock. Today with us. Conversation for Days podcast.
100%.
With us today, Reggie Cash. Reggie Cash, my journey, the man that I become today, just saying. So I can say, but can you please introduce yourself? Very special guest with us today, my brother AJ. Happy reached a milestone, you know, reached a goal that was set in the beginning.